Really? As soon as I push start? As soon as I push record? Well, hi everyone. Welcome back. For those of you who are new here, I'm Carrie. This is Lexi. This is the DNA Geek Crafts. Yeah, and today is January... No, it's not. By the time you're watching this, it will be January 1st. But as I'm recording this, it is December 31st. So happy New Year to all of you. I hope that your 22 is full of all the things that you love and all of the people that you love, and that good things come your way. So, New Year, starting out. Time to take stock of everything I've got here. So it's time for a WIP parade. Before I start into the WIP parade, I want to address a couple things really quickly. Yeah, would you stop? The first is, for those of you that have been watching for a while or follow me on Instagram, you may know that I was intending to do a stitch along, start along for Betty White's 100th birthday on January 17th. And you've probably heard by now that she passed away today, December 31st, 2021. I'm still planning to do the stitch along. Now it's going to be a memorial, a tribute. So if you are still inclined to join us and do this as a tribute to truly a national treasure. I loved watching Betty White. Not just even in the Golden Girls, but she was just a phenomenal entertainer. And from what I understand, I mean, obviously I never met her, but a wonderful person. So my condolences to her friends and her family, and to the millions of other fans out there like me who are mourning in a smaller way than obviously her friends and family are. And so I'm going to do a tribute sal. I am going to be, as I've mentioned before, I'm going to be doing everything first with a dog under my arm. So I'm going to be doing the Walk Fast sampler from Lindy Stitches, which is a classic Rose Nyland from the Golden Girls quote. "You can lead a herring to water, but you have to walk fast or he'll die." Classic Rose Nyland. I am doing this one. Other people are doing other ones. I'm by no means married. If you want to participate and you don't like this one, please do whatever strikes your boat, or floats your boat, strikes your fancy. Let's not mix our metaphors. She's giving me an unimpressed look. Really? Some of the stupid stuff you do, I mess up one word and you're giving me a look. Anyway, the hashtag is going to be Betty White Tribute Sal. Or you can use the hashtag I was originally planning to use, which is hashtag Betty White 100 Sal, or you can use both. I don't care, but if you want to participate, I'd love to see that. Put that on your Instagram, put it on your Flosstubes. I'd love to be able to keep up with your work. And again, my condolences to her friends and family. What a truly awful way to end a year. So, sads out of the way. I have a finish. For the second year in a row, I managed a Christmas Eve finish, and you'll probably be surprised because I hadn't even started this one on my last video. It took me about 3 days. Really? What are you doing? What? What? Hi. You know, it's a lot easier to do this when you're not glued to my side, especially between me and all the stuff. I like you too, really, although your breath stinks. So, anyway, here is my finish. This is from the Lola Crow Christmas Cryptid Ornament Sal. I did one of the 5 ornaments and then the bonus. And I'm going to try to hold it up one-handed, and if not, you're just going to have to move. I don't think she's interested in that. Anyway, here it is. This is called a miniature sleigh and a jackalope. Isn't it so cute? I love it. I can't wait to do the other 4 and then the bonus Nessie at the end. I'll put it up here again so you can see it, and maybe Facebook will pick it up so that that can be my thumbnail instead of me looking stupid like happens every other week. Probably not, but there we go. So, gotta finish. If you want to stick around at the end, I know some people aren't into it, so even though this is going to be a long WIP update, I am still going to save haul and life updates and reading, watching, listening to for the end. So if you do like to stick around for those, sorry, it's going to be a while, but I don't want to inconvenience those who are just here for the stitching. So, WIP Parade. Shall we? All right. This looks like a good place to start. All right. Got everything together, so why don't you relax? Ooh! It's bubbly! No, you can't have this. That's actual alcoholic, and you can't have grapes anyway. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't do that on camera so you didn't see that. I'm also so glad I brought a towel in here. Oh boy. This is me. This is my life. This is how I do things. Half thought out and usually a mess. But anyway, pull up your favorite beverage and let's have a WIP parade. All right, this is some of my really big ones on this hanger. And so they'll be huge. The first one is probably, it didn't get any stitches done this year, but it probably will get stitches done next year because right away in January, one of my first prompts for magical stitches is to work on the WIP with the most colors in it, and that is definitely this one. This is Bookworm, singular, by Charting Creations. And I'm not going to post the last time you saw it because it is exactly at the same place that it was last time, which is here. I've got a tiny little bit of the corner done, and I don't even have this, to be completely honest, because the problem is, the reason I stopped working on this is I've made a counting error somewhere in here, and most of this stuff down here is off. So rather than go in and frog it right away, I think what I'm going to do when I work on it this month is I'm just going to jump over here and I'm going to stitch around this, and then later, so I can see how much I can get away with fudging, because right now it's so confetti laden and there's so many color changes, I don't know what I can do. So I'm going to start and stitch around it, and then when I have a better idea of where, well, I know where in the picture this is, but what exactly this is, how big a portion of the book this is, and how much I can get away with fudging, then I'll come back in and look at the stuff that I've already worked on. So that is number 1, Charting Creations Bookworm. And it's big. This is actually bigger than Deal Struck by about 20,000 stitches, 30,000 stitches. This is big. I'm probably just going to pile these all up, and then I'll regret it later when I have to put them all back on hangers at once, but I'm going for speed right now. So next up is Son of a Stitch, Everything is Fine, Sal, based off The Good Place. And I'm not very far on this one. I think I did work on this one this year, so I'll try to go back and find a starting picture of the last, well, no, I don't need to, because the last time you saw it, it would look like exactly what it's going to look like right now, which is, I've got Michael mostly done. I have to stitch the bottom of the border, and then I started on Tahani. So again, it's a really big one. I haven't worked on it in a while. In fact, I even forgot about it. I have to be better when I get my prompts at pulling things out and seeing what actually fits in the prompts. So, but there it is. Everything is fine. Stitch along for this past year from Son of a Stitch. Or it might have even been a 2020 sale. I don't even know anymore. Oh. Before I get any further, I was mentioning pictures of the last time I showed things to you, what they looked like. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the ones that did actually look different the last time you saw them, which are the ones that I am currently working on. And actually, I misspoke. 2 of these do not look any different from the last time. No. All but one of these don't look any different than the last time I showed it to you. So I'm going to show you the one that looks different. And it doesn't look different by much, but it does. And that is Deal Struck. And the last time I showed this one to you a couple weeks ago, it looked like this. And one thing I wanted to mention about Deal Struck is that I found out that this pattern's been discontinued. So if you've gone to that link trying to find it and wondered out what happened, the store is actually gone. So can't get it anymore. But anyway, I'm still working on it. So here's where I'm at. Still working on this column. I thought I was going to get more done than I did. I'll tell you why later. I missed an entire night of stitching. And I'll tell you why in life updates if you're interested. So I'm still almost done with this column. This is the column that never ends. I think what I'm going to try to start doing is I'm going to start branching out onto page, let's see, this would be 7, so this would be, yeah, it's 7 wide, so this would be 8. So I think I'm going to start branching out onto page 9 and trying to do a little color to break up the monotony, because I think that's a large part of what is boring me about this one, is that the rest of this is all black. All of this. So yeah, I think I'm going to come up and start trying to work in, I think you can get a corner of his hand is in here, and then the start of the back of CL's jacket is right here. So I can do some color while I'm working and maybe get this to not be so boring. Other projects that are in Q-snaps, but not necessarily having been worked on recently. And this one really hasn't been worked on recently. This is Hak and Yona. This does not have a designer. This is my own attempt at conversion of a screenshot from the anime. So hopefully it works. But we won't know for a long time, because here's where I'm at. It's just barely started, a few hundred stitches in. But I'm hoping to work on this one a lot more this year. So, I don't know, I guess we'll see. I said I was gonna keep a count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5 is one that's definitely gonna come back into the rotation because I love it. And that is the Cryptid Sal. And the last time I showed it to you, it was exactly where it is right now, which is I am working on Yeti down here in the corner. So I have Yeti, and then Ahul, and then the Dover Demon, I think it's called. And then Nessie. Of course, Nessie comes out in the period where I'm not actually working on this. I've been waiting for it the whole time. But yeah, Cryptid Sal. 5, right? 5. I need to start making marks on my paper so I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually made a list of things I want to talk about today. Next up, another one I'm working on. Reached my goal on this one before the last video. Haven't picked it up since. It's just been a crazy week. Again, we'll get into it with life updates, but this is the Frosted Pumpkin Cozy Cafe Sal. And since the last time I showed it to you, the final piece came out, and it's peppermint cocoa, and it's kind of cute and kind of warm, and I was really excited because I really wanted something peppermint on there. And I didn't figure it would be mocha, so peppermint, hot chocolate, peppermint cocoa, that's what I like. This, oh, I keep forgetting. This fabric is 16 count Olympia from Mystic Fabrics. Now we're going to see if I can remember all of the rest of these, because not all of them have the ticket still on them, and some of them haven't been used in a while. So here is where it is. This is on 16 count Haley's Garden from Mystic Fabrics, and I have finished the first of the 10 mugs. The raspberry mocha, little panda bear on the cup. And this is technically not even finished because I'm not going to do the beading until last, because I don't want it to get in the way of the Q-snap. So I've started the shelf for the next mug, which is Earl Grey, my absolute favorite drink ever. So yeah, this one is going to stay in the rotation as being worked on in the near future. This one has a theme song. The theme song is Raspberry Beret. Okay. Another one that hasn't been worked on at all this year. This is my Long Dog Sampler, Pandemic. It is on 18 count Da Vinci, completely in $37.99, although I'm really regretting that choice right now, seeing some of the ones of people that have done them in color. But it's got a very little bit of a start on it, and here it is. So many things I would like to get back to, and I'll move out so you can see a little bit of the fabric, because I love this fabric. It'll be gorgeous if I ever get around to working on it. That's 6. Next up, you've seen this one quite a bit, but again, I haven't worked on anything except deal struck, so there aren't going to be any before pictures for anything, thankfully, because this is already going to be a nightmare to edit, because I'm going to have to find model photos for everything. So this is Tiny Modernist's Zodiac Sampler, Sal. This one is not quite finished. There's one more month left, but we have done all of these star signs. This is what the project looks like. And here's where I'm at. This is 16 count Phantom from Picture This Plus. So there's where I'm at. Working on Pisces. Aquarius is done except for a little bit of the circle around her. And then I've got a little bit of the border and a little bit of the circle for whatever's under Pisces. I can't remember right now. Done. Again, I'll move out and around so that you can see the fabric, because I think this fabric is another one of my personal favorites. And there you have it. I feel like I'm off count already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am. I'm already off count. 8. Probably won't be a count by the end. I will probably completely forget. All right, shall we get another hanger? This hanger has some older projects on that you don't see very often, so let's see what all is here. First up is Hello Sunshine from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I started this when it started out as the Sal, and there are now 4 for all 4 seasons. I think Sunshine was the last one. Fall is Hello Pumpkin and winter is Hello Deer. And this is summer, and I can't remember what spring is, but all 4 of them are now out. So I'll probably do all of them eventually, but I had to get Hello Sunshine because it has a flamingo on it. And this is done on 16 count Escape by Stitch Me. And here's where I'm at. Move it in a little closer. Hopefully you can see that. I am blind now that the fabric's in the way. So I've got some of the flowers done. I started on the flamingo. Not very much done at all. This was actually part 1, not even fully completed. But again, love this fabric. You know, I'm going to stop saying that. Just assume, because I love all of my fabrics, or else I wouldn't have chosen them. So just assume I love the fabric. Okay? Next up, oh, I have a picture for this one. Is Tiny Modernist Unicorn Tapestry. And this is done on the called for Zweigert Riviera Aqua. And it doesn't have a needle minder on it, but it has a needle, so I guess I better be careful about that. But anyway, here's where I am. So many of these, I keep looking at them and going, gosh, I wish I could work on that. Or I wish I had time. I've got so many projects. I need to do I need to do no new starts. But I think we know how well that would go. This one, I have a picture for this one too. This one is Silver Creek Samplers Moonshine. And I really like the saying. It's, the moon said to me, do not wait to be whole, to let your light shine from the depths of your soul. So that's what it'll look like when it's done. This one I am doing on 16 count Dapple. Might be Picture This Plus. Not sure. I know the name of it is Dapple. And here's where I'm at. So there we go. Okay, this is one of my favorites that I never get to work on. So I'm probably going to have to change that at one point. And it has a Golden Girls needle minder on it. It's B. Arthur, not Betty White, but... Okay, this is the Skeptic Sampler from Sweetwater Studios. And here is where I'm at on this one. I am just working on the quote. And it's made in the word is interior, but I've just got the in and of collapsing stars. So this one I really want to work on. I think about it often. I'll just have to pull it out and work on it. This is a Zweigert linen in, I think it's just natural. It's not a dyed fabric at any rate. Another really fun one that I wish I had more time to work on. This is Stitchrovia, Awesome Myth. And the last time I showed it to you, the last time I worked on it, it looked like this. This fabric is 16 count Unipoo from Mystic Fabrics. I think it's perfect for this one. Love it. What did I tell you? I'm more referring to the project and this on the project. So, another one I don't get to use. I have a picture for this one. And this is the last one on this hanger. It's more flamingos, can you tell? It's been a while since I explained the flamingo thing. So if you're new here, you might not know it. So I will explain it. I didn't start out collecting flamingos. The person who loved flamingos was my mom. So since she passed away, wow, it's already been 6 years. It'll be 7 years on Valentine's Day. Since she passed away, every time I see something with flamingos, I get it because it reminds me of her. So I've somehow become a flamingo collector. I didn't even particularly care for them. Like, it's like, okay, it's a flamingo. But now my Stardew Valley farm has lawn flamingos on it, and I've got all of these flamingo needle minders. You've probably seen a few come through, and cross stitches, and I have a project bag that is all flamingos, and so I unintentionally am a flamingo collector now. But it's also something that I've always been a very, like, I got this from my mom. I'm a very beachy umbrella drink, like, I like that vibe. I like that style kind of person. So, in continuing with the flamingos and beachy vibes, I have Sue Hillis Designs High Tides and Good Vibes from the Happy Camper series. And that's what it'll look like when it's done. And this is done on 16 count, and this is where I've taken the tag off it. I'm pretty sure it's April Showers. It is by Stitch Me. I'm pretty sure it's April Showers. And here's where I'm at. This one got some love this year. So continue to work on it anytime I have something that requires a beachy type feel. Okay, next hanger. The hanger thing came around because I don't like leaving projects folded up for too long, because not just the creases, but from what I understand, it's not good for the fabric. It gets weak along those. Same as like if you have a pattern folded for too long, it'll get weak along the folds. So I like to have them, they hang up in my closet. They've got a dust protector over them. They're in the closet so they're not in the sun. And that's how I store them. This one you just saw last week. Thank you to those of you who have made some excellent suggestions on how I can modify this one to make it a little bit more me, because we know I'm not shoes. This is Bobbie G's Designs Life's Journey. Life's journey is not to arrive safely at the grave in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, totally worn out, shouting, "Holy cow, what a ride." We've had suggestions, so here's what it is. Again, I'm not a shoe person, so I'm looking for things to replace the shoes. I've had some great suggestions of a bunch of nerdy stuff that I could put in there, a bunch of science stuff that I could put in there because I am the DNA geek. So yeah, thank you all for your suggestions, especially thank you to Morty, who has offered to chart Bubbling Flask for me. if I take you up on that. I'm taking you up on that, Morty. So yes, this is Life's Journey. When I showed it to you 2 weeks ago, here's where I was, here's where I've stayed. So I'm working on all of the words because, again, I want to put something a little bit more me than random shoes. Especially high heels, because with my arthritis, I can't wear high heels. So there's where I'm at right now. The well-loved, well-spoken of, and frequently worked on We Do Disney. Formerly by Rocking Horse Cross Stitch, now not currently available from what I can find. Again, it is in the same place as it was the last time I showed it to you, and that is right here. Hopefully that was all visible. I can't even fold that one over to see if it works. This one is doesn't really belong in the frequently used pile because it's not frequently used, but it's here because I recently worked on it. And so when I was picking up and putting stuff away, it got put on this hanger. This is Waxing Moon Designs Dog Owner's Welcome. I am doing the bottom one with dogs plural because the little white dog looks like Lexi. And 2 weeks ago when I showed it to you and talked about how I'm stupid because I put it on white fabric even though I knew I was going to be stitching a white dog, but that was Carrie from 2020 of May, so I'm not going to give myself a hard time, is right here. So I'll move it forward so you can see there is in fact dog stitching being done. It will be back stitched when it's done. And that's where it's at. I feel bad that I'm not saying more about these, and then I look up and see that I'm already 34 minutes in. And I've got 4 or 5 hangers to go, and one of them is this thick worth of WIPs. So you probably are gonna wish I'd shut up by the end anyway. But I'm sorry I'm not saying more about them. Oh, I just realized I have one here that I don't know where the model is, but I have the model, so I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. If I'd had half a brain, I would have started uploading that video while I was there. I don't have half a brain, we know this. This one is Hands-On Design Blissfully Unaware. One of my many, many spooky projects. If you are reading this, then you are blissfully unaware of what is creeping up behind you. This is done on 16 count garden party, I think. Yes. August fabric of the month from Bee Stitch Me. And here's where it's at. Yeah, there's where it's at. Next up, the pain of my existence. I don't know why I hate this project. It's adorable. It's not hard to work on. I just don't like working on it. And for Magical Stitches this year, it was my oldest WIP, so I should have been working on it. Clouds Factory's 2019 Sal Grimm's Fairy Tales. And here's where I'm at. Not even halfway done. Okay. So I'm currently working my way through a Rapunzel up here in the corner. So you can see that that one is only partially done, but there we go. There's the whole thing. This is on 16 count jade from Picture This Plus. Again, I don't know why I hate this one so much, but I need to get cracking on it. I need to get done with it so that I don't have to deal with it anymore. Plus, it's for my niece, and she's getting old enough to remember that I've promised this to her. Next up, one of my first forays into black work. I believe what I specifically said when I was talked into working on this one is, it's just black work. How long could it take? This is the Steady Threads 2021 Spooky Blackwork Cell. And here's how long it takes. I am still working on Octagon number 2. But they're cute. Like, see, I've got the little kitty, the black cat, and then I've got the wolf howling at the moon. Hoping for this to be a Spooky Magic choice in the near future because I do greatly enjoy working on this one. So, yeah. Hoping. Pretty sure I forgot to count Grimm's, so I'm gonna count it. This is gonna be an approximate count. I know the number is 50 plus. And we're not even at 20 yet, so it's gonna take a while. Next up, one of my many Autumn Lane patterns. This was my Spooky Magic All Year Round. Spooky Magic All Year Round is my project where I pick one of my many spooky / Halloween / fantasy projects and work on it. Pick a different one every month. This one got spun this month. I worked on it 0 days. Hopefully January will be better. But this is Autumn Lane Stitchery's Potions and Spells. And I've barely started it. This is on 16 count Ice Queen from Be Stitch Me. And here's the tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of a start that I have on this one. All right, gonna go get another hanger. I'm gonna be editing out the parts where I go get the other hangers, so I think I'm just gonna hit stop in between now so that these are in smaller sections so that they upload faster, because my computer takes forever to upload videos from my phone. And you don't need to know any of that because it's all gonna be cut out, but I'm telling you anyway. So, be back in a second. Okay, next up is one of my 2 smalls hangers. I think this one is almost exclusively the Tiny Modernist Words to Live By series. Right here. And what I'm doing with these is I am stitching it on individual pieces of Ada, and then my plan is eventually to make them into a quilt. If you haven't been here before, that's the plan. I've never quilted a day in my life. When we get there, that'll be interesting. But I found some beautiful sunflower material in my mom's craft room when I started to clean it out. And think that it would make a lovely, lovely frame for these. So the first one is part 1. 2 of these are already done. So of the 13 parts, you're only going to see 11 today. But part 1 is Follow Your Dreams. It's the centerpiece. And these were all Mania starts, so most of them only have 100 stitches, give or take a few stitches. Well, give a few stitches, because I did at least 100 stitches. But most of them I stopped pretty much right at or near 100. So, LLO. That's all I got. At least I pulled them out, but I'm still gonna have to flip through them to find the right ones. Part 5, if you can dream it, you can do it. And there we go. Part 6, one of my particular favorite sayings. The part is called Go with the Flow. The saying is, you can't direct the wind, but you can adjust the sails. And there it is. Oh, the next one is even right in order. This is Understanding Life, Part 10. Life can only be stood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. There you go. This one's in the right order too. Part 4, Recipe for Success. Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. And right now, as far as I've got stitched on this one, is just the model of my life. Too busy. I think they're all in order from the last time I did a WIP parade, because this one is also in order. Part 3, It's Worth Having. Nothing worth having comes easy. What have I got done on it? Virtually nothing. Part 7, Face the Sunshine. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see a shadow. Oh, now we're out of order. This is part 13, You Make a Difference, and this is the one where I had just showed you the picture where they showed the whole thing as one. So this one is this corner here, act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. Right there. There's where I am. This one, love what you have. When you love what you have everything you need. Part 11, Be kind. Stay humble, work hard, be kind. And part 12, Don't count the days, make the days count. And there you go. So that is smalls hanger number 1. I'm going to add 11 to my count and go get the next hanger. Be right back. All right, smalls hanger number 2. These are a little bit larger than the other ones, but they're still smalls for the most part. They're a little bit larger for the most part, but they're all still what I would consider smalls. Although some of them technically aren't smalls for like magical stitches count or whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. Stop babbling about things people don't care about. Okay, the first up. A few weeks ago, I finished one of the hands-on design flamingo ornaments. The first up are the other 2. So, flamingo bells. These are way shinier than some of the other ones. I'm trying to get it out of the ring light glare. There you go, that's better. think this is the right direction. Or maybe like this. No, it's like this. So there's that one, barely started. And the other one, flamingo. Again, barely started. Now you see why I finished the other one. Next up, Stitching Book Club. 3 Stitching Book Club patterns this year. I only started number 1, Sense and Sensibility. And here's all the further I got. But I did finish the book. I haven't even started the other 2, which are Little Women and The Great Gatsby, book or stitching. This one, probably going to go into long-term timeout because I don't like the fabric. I don't like anything about this one. This is a Dimensions kit. It's group therapy. And it's pain in the neck to stitch, and the fabric is icky and the threads are icky, and so I probably will be the last time that you see it, but here's all the further that I got. Stitching Book Club from last year. I did finish one of the 2 of those that I started. I think I missed the first one of the year, but I started the second one. Frankenstein, finished the book. I finished A Christmas Carol last year, book and stitch. But here's where I'm at, and this one is kind of stuck. It's on the verge of long-term timeout because I'm so irritated with myself. But here's where it is. This is on 16 count Barnwood from Picture This Plus. And the reason is that this whole square and part of this square are all 1 row too high. So I can't fit the border in if I leave them the way that they are. So until the day that it gets chosen for Spooky Magic all year round, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with it, this one kind of sits to the side. But it will get finished eventually. It's not going into long-term timeout. I am going to finish it because I'm so close. So, there it is. Stitchonomy's 2020 Halloween Sal. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about it. This is where I'm at. About halfway. I didn't do 2021s. It's too much to do to keep up with one a day. For me. Obviously, for a lot of other people, it's fine. For me, it's too much. You're last. I'm going to talk about you separate. Ink Circles Fairy Ring Around the Rosie. This one is done on 16 count Pearl from Mystic Fabrics. The silk is, I think it might be a special edition silk. It's by Trinway. It's called Mystic Fairy. Here's where I'm at. And I've got it even the right way. Do I? No, this fairy is upside down. So, there's where I'm at. Note my needle minder matches. This came in the Mystic Fabrics Christmas box last year. Silks, pattern, fabric, and the coordinating needle minder. this one. I wasn't going to show this one on my Flosstube. And now I think I'm going to. We are all adults. If you don't like it, you can fast forward past it. I'm not monetized, so I'm not going to lose any money by showing it. This is Urban Stitches After Dark Sal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a picture of the full thing to show you, but so I've barely gotten started on this one because it is NSFW, and so I haven't been using it for a lot of my stitching challenges, so that means it goes to the wayside. So I really only got the first week done. This fabric is a Pride Fabric Games win from 2020 from Mystic Fabrics, and I'm doing the entire thing in $37.99. And here is all the further that I've gotten so far. And please don't let that one be my thumbnail. But isn't this fabric cute? And I love the needle minder. It's so me. I'm sorry, I don't take orders. I barely take suggestions. So that was Smalls hanger number 2. We'll be right back in a second. Okay, second to last. This one. I don't know if I have a picture for it, but if I do, and if I do, I'll post it here. But if not, the quote is, "My level of sarcasm has gotten to the point where even I don't know if I'm joking or not," or something similar to that. And here's where I'm at. This one is a lot of fun because it's on 20 count. And when I started stitching it, I made a note to myself, note to self, this is on 20 count, only use 1 strand. Used 2 anyway. It doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit difficult to stitch. So my plan is to continue doing the words in 2 strands, but then when I get to the border, I'm going to do that in 1 strand. Another one that I am missing the model for. BRB. Just kidding. I just remembered I still have the model photo for this one. So I'll have to throw in a picture. This is Ink Circles Out There. And here's where it's at. A lot of these were mania starts either from last year or this year. And I didn't get very far. And then they just didn't get worked on because I've had other projects. I did a lot of gifts the last couple of years. This one is a Sal that I am kind of hosting. Well, it was a start along because I've not done any work on it since November. But this one, if you want to see progress from myself or others, or if you want to join us, because heaven knows it's not too late because I'm still working on it. This is hashtag Sleepy Hollow Coven Sal. And this is Glendon Place, Sleepy Hollow. And I am doing it on 16 count After the Harvest by Bestitch Me. And here's where I'm at. This one I hoped to finish in 2020, and when I didn't, I don't think I picked it up again at all this year. This is Summer House Stitchworks Sister Suffragette. There's where it's at. Final hanger. All right, here we go, last hanger. First one. This will be one of my first finishes in 2021. It has to be done by May. This is In a World of Roses, Be a Sunflower by Oh My Stitches Shop. This is done on 16 count Night Sky Brandy by Be Stitch Me. It's Brandy 1.0. I think if Brandy is on the website now, it's a different formula because one of the blues in this one was discontinued. I'm sure it's no less stunning. The night skies are all opalescent. Here is where I'm at. This one's probably going to come down into rotation now because it needs to be done. Couple more of my spooky projects. This one is Lakeside Needlecrafts Halloween Candlesticks Sal. Here's where I'm at. This is on 16 count Bugs and Hisses, which was a fabric of the month. I don't think it's available on the website from Mystic Fabrics. So cute. More Halloween, The Witch's Spell from Autumn Lane Stitchery. "16 count Atlantis by Be Stitch Me." Here's where I'm at. I think I forgot to mention, I think the only other WIP that currently has a theme song, if you've been following me, you know, is Sleepy Hollow. It's Mambo number 5. Your guess is as good as mine. What's that? Please don't tell me you're getting up here. Ah, you're getting up here. Okay, let me move these so you don't lay on them. All right, you can come over here now. Right there. Stay out of the WIPs. Right here. You can lay there. Quit hitting me with your tail. We're thinking. We're examining. This is the best place out of this entire bed. This is the best place. Okay. You're lucky, you're cute. Okay, moving on. Yes, you're nothing but a giant interruption. I have this year's Clouds Factory Sal. Grimm's was 2019. Grimm's was 2020, not 2019. Grimm's was 2020. This one is 2021. It is There Is No Planet B, Endangered Species. This one is on 16 count Winter Blues by Be Stitch Me. And I'm still working on January. It's December 31st, and I'm still working on January. Well, you too. So there it is. Another one that I feel really bad about. I really, really wanted to work on a lot this year. But the problem is, when you do that with 50 WIPs, none of them get worked on. Another one I really, really wanted to work on this year. All right, you have the bottom of a different needle minder on you. Where is that needle minder? Huh. I have a magnet from a needle minder and no needle minder. That's interesting. That is the downside of storing these like this. The needle minders all wind up sticking together. This is another one that I'm super disappointed I didn't get to work on a lot. This is Climbing Goat Designs Wonders of the Solar System. And I am still on January on Mars with my 100 to 150 piddly little stitches in on it. This is 16 Count Nothing from Mystic Fabrics. I have no more of this, and I've got about 4 projects that I want to stitch on it right now, so it's a problem. It's one of my favorites, and especially one of my favorites because what is that stitched on? Nothing. Nerdy Stitch. This is the Avatar: The Last Airbender 4 Elements stitch along from 2020. And I doubt I have a starting photo for this one either because I never actually posted one because it was a mystery sale and we just did it as we went. Here's where I'm at. I'm still on water. Right up there on Hated Stitches is this next one. I know why I hate this one. It is Wine from Samplers Revisited, from the beer and wine pattern. It's done in Grape Fizz from, I don't remember if it's Classic Colorworks. I don't remember. But anyway, it is done on a fabric that I tea-dyed. Unfortunately, is done on a Joann's fabric linen that I tea-dyed. Chose that because it was my first attempt at tea-dyeing for my videos way back when I used to do the learning stuff. That will come back eventually, but not right now. So I used a cheap fabric because if I screwed up, I didn't want to ruin it. But then I didn't stop to think about the fact that this fabric is not square. This should be longer than it is wide. And you can see it's almost a perfect square, if not wider than it is long. So yeah, that's why I don't like it, because it's a crappy fabric. I'm also a little concerned that I am going to run out of my thread. And then I'm going to have to take a chance that the replacement thread is the same dye lot. So, nervous. Nervous. My 2021 temperature sal. This was a pattern from the Enablers. I do not have a model photo for it. And you're not even going to get the gist of it from looking at mine because it's still on January 23rd and January 23rd isn't even done. So here is where it was and where it stayed. This is 16 Count Nothing again from Mystic Fabrics. I will go back and finish this eventually. I will. Famous last words. My intention is to go back and finish this eventually. I've been keeping track of the temperatures. Oh boy, and I haven't counted these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say since the time that Lexi came in here. 2, 3, 4, 5. That would make this one 51. So I'm pretty sure that is not an accurate number because I was sure that I had more than that. But Dark Queen of the Seas, Sal from Autumn Lane Stitchery. This one is a monster in terms of size, but it's also, as you saw, stunningly gorgeous. And here's where I'm at. This is on 16 count Bewitched by Under the Sea Fabrics. So there you have it. There are all of my WIPs. 51, give or take a few. If that's what you were here for, thank you. Happy New Year. Have a great week. Have a great 2 weeks, because I'm going to stay on the 2-week schedule. And see you next time. If you stick around for other stuff, let's jump into haul. I forgot in my last video to mention a few items that I purchased. I was so busy remembering the ones from the video before that I forgot to mention these. So I will stick pictures of these in there. They are new sals. The first two are from Climbing Goat Designs. The first one is their Wonders of the World sal. And it's set up like Wonders of Space was a few years ago, where it has it's a grid of 9 squares. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to working on that one. I want to do Wonders of the Night Sky as well. I decided not to buy it right now because looking at my schedule, I'm not going to start stitching it right now, realistically, in any sense of the word. So I'm not going to spend the money on it now because it's quite expensive, which it will be worth every penny because she does a painstakingly wonderful job with her astronomy sals of making them true to life. So I'm really looking forward to it, but I couldn't get it at this time. The other one that I got from Climbing Goat was the Galaxy Temperature Sal. This is the one I'd really like to have a piece of nothing for, and I don't. So I'm gonna have to look and see if I have anything remotely interesting in my stash, and if not, I'm gonna have to just go ahead and order it and just start recording temperatures and wait until later to actually do it. The other one that the frame came out today is Urban Stitches, That Which Does Not Kill Us. It is a sal about, it's a Gothic, Victorian Gothic theme sal about medicinal herbs. And I can't wait. It sounds right up my geeky little alley. So I can't wait to work on it. Frame, like I said, the frame came out, so I will be able to start working on it. I got 2 other patterns. The first one is from Snarky Crafter Designs. I'll go ahead and show you a picture of it here. And the last one I got, there's a story. If you followed me for 6 months or longer, you will remember my box of Wonderful that came over from the UK, and it had some love from the US in it too. Ashley, Stitching Penguin, I've not forgotten that you were involved in that as well. But it came with treats from Ashley and Mad Morty and Joe, Stitchy Cat Lady 26, and from Crafty Rogue Gamer. And Crafty Rogue Gamer made me this little chibi Sebastian. And he hangs on my wall. If you see all my videos, he's on my wall usually. So I'm going to make, if you remember, I did a Black Butler cosplay this year where my friend was Sebastian and I was Ciel. So I am going to make the matching Ciel. And that's the other pattern I got. And I really hope when I get done with it that there will be a very similar frame so that they can sit side by side. Because I love my Sebastian. Okay, so that is the stuff that I forgot from last time, plus the 2 that I don't physically have in front of me. Other haul. My nephews for Christmas got me this embroidery floss kit. And I haven't opened it up yet, but but I think that this might actually be DMC in here because all of the numbers, looking at them, match DMC. There's B5200, that's 728, looks like what I think 728 would look like, 741, 740. So I think these are all DMC flosses. Let me put it in the back so you can see that. And then in addition to those, it's got, it's got 36 needles. 12 number 22s, 12 number 24s, and 12 number 26. 36 needles, 50 sewing pins, 6 safety pins, 4 needle threading tools, 2 thimbles, a measuring tape, a pin cushion, a scissors, an untwist tool, whatever that is, and then the organizer box. So, Merry Christmas to me from 2 of my 4 nibblings, my 8-year-old and 6-year-old, 8-year-old and 7-year-old nephews. And the only other bit I have is my fabric of the month from Mystic came for December. And it is a fun color. It's a even more fun title. So here is the color. And Misty said it's dollar bill green. So if you're not from the US, this is the color of our money. It's dollar bill green. And so she named it because she said this is probably her second most fun. Well, I think it's her second most fun because nothing is ever going to top nothing. Being able to say I stitched it on nothing. This one is called Spending Amnesia. So fun. So yes, dollar bill green, Spending Amnesia. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stitch the Wonders of the World on this. All right, that's my haul. So, next level, if you were just here for haul, Happy New Year, bye-bye. Third level, plans. I don't know yet. I am going to try to do better at doing the spooky magic prompts. So in January, I plan to work on my newest WIP, which will probably be a brand new WIP. Probably one of these Sal's that I just got. But I don't think it's the right week for it to be Betty White because these prompts are divided by week. The second prompt is your WIP with the most colors in it. So that'll be Bookworm. Third WIP is your oldest WIP, so that'll be Grimm's. And then I can't remember what the fourth one is. So I've got those, and then all of the other stitching. I'd like to try to work on Deal Struck. I'd like to try to work on Cryptid Sal. I'd like to try to work on Cozy Cafe. I try to pull one of these out. Probably what I'm going to do is reinstate my stitching wheel. And I might take Grimm's off of it and add sunflowers. And work on things that way where I work on what the wheel chooses for me that day. So, plans for the year are always subject to change. The only thing I know is I'm not going to do no new starts. I thought about it. When I was looking at all these WIPs, I thought about I could easily do no new starts and have plenty to work on and never be bored. But I can't because there's always something new and cool and fun coming out. So, but speaking of other plans, I have to pick a spooky magic project for January. So let's see what the wheel comes up with. Okay, so there you have it. Cryptids is going to get double dipped this year, or this month. Actually, it gets triple dipped because I think Cryptids is one of the ones I'm going to try to work on as a matter of course, just daily. And then it has its own spot on the wheel. It has a spot for when I spin any active WIP, and it has a spot for when I spin spooky magic. So cryptids is gonna get some love this month. All right, that finishes off my plans. So that truly ends the stitching stuff. So again, if that's all you're here for, I hope that you have a great new year, and I will talk to you soon. If you stick around for life updates, here we go. Reading, watching, listening to. I started and finished in the last 2 weeks, actually in a weekend. The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan, which is the first book in the Magnus Chase trilogy. So instead of Greek gods, this time we're working with Norse gods. And the main character is Annabeth's cousin, Annabeth from the Greek gods, the Camp Half-Blood Chronicles. And I liked it. Not as much as Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Probably not as much as the Heroes of Olympus. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is still my favorite series of the 3 that I've read. And then when I get done here, I'll do the Kane Chronicles as well. I am currently finishing up a re-listen to of Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. If you've seen the movie and not read the book, they are nothing alike. So I really love the movie, or I really love the book. I think if I watched the movie again, I might like it more. But when I went into it, I did not realize that they were basically the same in name only. And so I spent the entire movie being disappointed that it was nothing like the book. I mean, don't get me wrong, the animation is stunning. And I think I need to go back and watch it now that I know that that's the case, because I understand that it is a really great movie with a great story, but it's not the book. So just if you, if you've seen the movie, what I'm reading is not the movie. So that's all the reading I've done. I didn't want to start anything because Magical Stitches starts tomorrow. Although technically, I guess it started on the 26th. I guess they're letting us have this whole week. But I didn't worry about that. So, I watched nothing. Tonight I was planning to do a Hawkeye binge, finish Hawkeye, and then I was planning to start the Wheel of Time. And now I think instead I'm going to do a Golden Girls marathon. Cheers, Betty. So, nothing watched. I'm way behind on all my Flosstube. I really do love y'all. As you can tell from my reading, watching, listening to, I haven't been getting anything done. It's not just Flosstube, it's just everything. And a large part of that is because of the work update. But first I'm going to tell you about my Christmas. I told you about my Christmas with all of my family together. And then then the following weekend I drove up again. And when I woke up, I had a hard time sleeping on the 22nd in the evening. First of all, my extra days off were great. I felt a lot rejuvenated when I got up on the 23rd, although I had insomnia on the 22nd. And so I got about 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and that was, intermittent. But probably 3 or 4 hours total. So when I woke up on the 23rd, I was thinking, I don't have to be there. We don't have anything planned today. I could stay home and I could rest and I could sleep in and not worry about going up until tomorrow. And then I decided, no. I got up to let Lexi out and I was like, well, I don't feel that bad. Let's go for it. That was not what I should have done. Because I got about an hour and a half from my dad's house. and I drive by a car flipped down upside down on the side of the highway. And I'm like, well, it must have been really stormy here last night. And they still haven't gotten to that car yet. That's not usual for the area of Michigan I'm from. They're usually pretty good about getting accidents cleaned up, even ones that are off the roadway. So I keep driving, and all of a sudden I see a pickup fly out into the middle of a field. And then as I get closer, I realize it's on its roof. So it not just flew out of, it rolled. And I'm coming up on this, and so I tapped my brakes, and my car just skidded. So the road looked completely dry. It looked like, I grew up in northern Michigan, okay? This isn't my first winter. Looked completely dry, no issues whatsoever, and it was a sheet of ice. So that's why Waze was telling me to get off the highway for the last 10 miles. And usually I listen to Waze because it has saved me in the past from being stuck in a bunch of mess. But this time I was ignoring it because I knew that I needed to stop and get gas at least one more time. And I was scared that if I got off and went on the back roads, I know those back roads because I was right around where I went to school, where I went to college. So I know those back roads, and I know that there isn't anything. So I'm like, I have to at least get to Ithaca because I can get gas there. And then I saw all these cars. So now I'm going 35 miles an hour, and everybody else around me has realized that it's icy now too. So fortunately, not a ton of people, I mean, there are always people who are stupid, right, are blowing by me. But can't remember the words. So I'm like, I have to at least get to Ithaca. So I got to Ithaca, I got gas, I went into a McDonald's and I used the restroom. I let Lexi out to let her use the restroom because at this point I had no idea how long it was going to take. All I knew is that things were getting bad. And so the back roads were going to be bad too, but at least I wouldn't have to worry about the people that are still trying to drive 75 because the speed limit there is 75. So, and then I swung through the drive-through to get myself something to eat because I was like, at this point, I'm not going to be at my dad's house in time for dinner. And then I texted my dad and I'm like, here's where I am. I don't know how long it's going to take. The roads are awful. Whatever. From Ithaca to my dad's house. Like I said, I went to school around there. So I know back roads and I know shortcuts, and I can get there hour and a half or less from that stretch. It took me over 3 hours because once I got out of the ice, I got into freezing rain, and then the freezing rain switched over to snow, and it was snowing so hard that I could not see in front of me. I knew I was coming up on a huge curve in this road because I drive this road all the time. So I was looking at my GPS that was mounted on the dash next to me to make sure I wasn't at that curve yet because I was not confident that I would be able to tell. That's how hard it was snowing. So yeah, 3 hours to drive what normally takes me an hour and a half. The whole trip took me over 7. So that's why I got less stitching done than I planned, because when I got there, I just crashed. I hung out on the couch the rest of the night and did absolutely nothing. So that was the drive. Had to tell you about that. It was so much fun. Did I mention I'm trying to move back to Michigan? Okay. This week was my work anniversary, we call it, my work anniversary. I've been there 12 years. Hopefully I won't be there 13, but we'll see. Job search, nothing happening. I'm having a hard time even finding stuff. Part of that is the time of the year. I mean, really, who hires around Christmas? Part of it is that I'm either overqualified or my experience is really old in what I want to do. So I'm kind of changing my focus. There are two things I could do at this point. I could expand the area of my search and look in other cities, because there are a number of cities in Michigan where there are big clusters of science jobs. The problem with that is I do not have confidence that I can find a place for me in Lexi to rent. That she will be welcome, that will be easy and will be affordable. So there's that. The other option, and I swore I'd never do this, but now I'm thinking about doing it, is I take a whatever job, pharmacy tech, receptionist, whatever I can do that gets me enough income to pay my basic bills. And I start studying for the bar exam. Take the bar in July. Hope I can find a mentor, and then open my own law practice once I've passed the bar. I am nervous about my ability to actually do that. Not the passing the bar, I can do that. The opening my own practice. Law school teaches you how to think, it doesn't teach you how to be a lawyer. So I'm scared I would do something wrong and totally ruin someone's life and then be in trouble for malpractice. And so yeah, hopefully if I go that route, I can find someone to mentor me who can kind of talk me through learning how to do actual lawyer stuff. So those are things I'm thinking about. I've sent out a few feelers for jobs like that, and I need to get on the website and look at the Michigan requirements for the bar and look at getting into a bar study program. So yeah, there's where I'm at. But now, it's 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve. I have half a bottle of champagne left and another bottle chilling. I have Golden Girls on Hulu, and I have a lot of stitching. So, Lexi, do you want to come in and say Happy New Year? No, she doesn't. So from me and the brat, we hope you all have a safe and wonderful new year. I hope that 2022 is better for you, whether 2021 was good for you or not. I hope 2022 is better, so much better. I hope that you are happy and healthy and safe through the holiday and into the new year. I am going to continue my filming schedule of 2 weeks for now. And so I will see you in 2 weeks. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you next time. Bye and Happy New Year.